Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another video. Tripping the Color was this weekend and it was just what everybody needed. Despite the drizzle, it was a spectacular success and brought us some beautiful fashions and fabulous hats. This was a true bright spot to kick off summer. Everybody looked so beautiful and it was most importantly a great display of unity. The family together looked strong and supportive and of course joyous. It's always one of the best events for fashion with brighter colors and spring silhouettes. Most importantly though, it's the first time that we've seen the family all together since Christmas. It was a happy celebratory time. We have been treated to King Charles's appearances over the last few weeks or even months now, but it has been just about 6 months since Catherine the Princess of Wales had a true public-facing engagement on purpose. She had been spotted a few times and she made some statements, but she hasn't attended anything, so it was a really big deal. And for this special occasion, it was really great to see her doing something fun with the family, something exciting. She was looking fashionable as ever. It is important that she continue to take her time and take it easy. She is working a lot more than people realize just because she has 3 young children she's looking after and a household she's running. So even though she herself has said in her recent statement that she is dipping her toe back into working from home here and there and hoping to attend a few engagements over the summer, perhaps, depending on how she's feeling, it's important to remember that she is dedicating a lot of her energy to raising her children, and that in and of itself is a job. So I do hope that any appearances she makes over the summer are sparse and easier events similar to this one. That way she can truly focus on her health and well-being and prioritizing her family, which we know is very important to her. But let's get on to the outfits. The Wales family looked so nice together. They coordinated really well as a whole. We have both Prince George and Prince Louis in matching suits, which was just perfection. I absolutely love it when siblings match like this. I do it with my boys all the time, and so I just love this. This is perfect. And I really like the blue ties and gold buttons that they had on their suits, the princes, because it matched Prince William's uniform really nicely with all the gold detailing that he has. So it was really coordinated nicely there. And then of course Charlotte and Catherine were coordinated nicely as well, both with sort of nautical, sailor, navy inspired looks here. And theirs were inverse, meaning Charlotte's was primarily dark navy and Catherine's was primarily white. So it looked really nice, it flowed really nice, and it complemented everybody else on the balcony as well, because like last year she did the really bright green for the Irish Guards. This year she chose something white, predominantly white, and everybody else was in slightly more neutral, so to speak, sorts of colors that made it easy for the balcony to have a nice flow when it came to pictures all together. Not that that was necessarily planned out ahead of time, it just looked really nicely all put together. I really like that she chose white with the navy accents. A lot of publications are claiming it's black. Some are saying it's navy. It looks navy on my monitor here on my screens, but it doesn't matter if it was black or navy. It is a striking look. It really brightened up her face, and the design of the dress didn't draw any extra attention to any possible weight loss that she may have had in the way that darker colors might have. So I think that the lighter color choice was perhaps a bit strategic if that came into consideration. She looked really radiant. I truly love this bow accent on the shoulder. It's whimsical, it's fun, it's pretty, and this is a Jenny Packham dress that appears to be the same one that she wore for a coronation weekend event last year. It was for a luncheon and walkabout that she wore it. But once again, she had a truly thoughtful fashionista moment here by upcycling or re-wearing an outfit so close together. It used to be that oftentimes when we saw somebody in the public eye or a royal re-wear something, it was usually years apart, at least a year or 2. This is just about 1 year apart, and I like how she has been updating the pieces rather than just wearing the exact same thing over and over. She's making little changes, and this is something she has been doing the last few years really well. In this case, she added the bow embellishment and swapped out the belt that was previously just a plain solid black belt to this one that has the stripes that echoes the bow. Then of course she had different accessories, a brand new hat and white heels, different bag. It made the outfit look completely fresh and it was really nice. It was really polished. It was also a smart option because naturally people are going to be paying a lot closer attention to her appearance since they haven't seen her in a long while. So a rewear sort of softens that exercise just a tad. A lot of people saw Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady when they saw Catherine the Princess of Wales in this dress, and I could see that the bow in particular, because it is also a striped bow and placed on the right shoulder, it looks like that could maybe have been an inspiration for upcycling this dress, coming up with an idea to sort of make this dress feel fresh for the occasion. But it's definitely not like a direct reference, I don't think. In my opinion, the dresses aren't similar enough, the styles aren't similar enough for it to be like some sort of direct reference, but it perhaps may have inspired her or the seamstress who was helping her upcycle this dress. Who knows? Either way, it was absolutely beautiful. I really, really like the hat. The jaunty angle is perfect. It's got the white around the brim and the white from her dress really helping to brighten up her face. And in contrast to the darker navy or black accents, it just was really striking. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, looked really, really beautiful in this pretty light yellow dress. This has become one of her go-to styles. She really likes these sort of fluted sleeves with the slight puff shoulder. They're really great for balancing her figure. She has slightly narrower shoulders, almost leans a little bit pear-shaped in her body type. So for her, adding a little bit of a puff sleeve, some playful cuff detailing, things like that really helped to balance her figure nicely. And it also allows, because she is a little bit busty, for her to have a dress silhouette that reins in at the waistline too. She has worn, if not the exact same dress in a different color, but very, very similar dresses to this yellow one here. She has it in hot pink and she has also worn it in white previously. I really, really love this pale yellow color though. I think I like the pale yellow better than the white one, but I like the hot pink one just as much as the yellow one. They're both such great colors for her and look really, really nice. But this yellow one looks maybe just a tad big, like perhaps she accidentally got a size up from her usual size maybe, just because the sleeves look like they have a little too much room in them. But at the same time, perhaps this is just an updated version of the same style and it was designed to have slightly looser sleeves. Who knows? Regardless, I don't love the slightly looser sleeves just because it can add a little bit of frump if you are busty like her to have big sleeves up here. That's why it works well for them to have the sort of flare down by the cuff instead of up high, having a lot of extra volume. So that made it look almost just a little bit bulky and can lean frumpy at times if you have lots of volume in the sleeves. But I think that this worked okay. She still looked lovely and beautiful and polished and great, and it's not like a travesty to have too much room in your sleeve. She still looked really, really pretty in this, and I really like her fascinator. Lady Louise also rewore something from Coronation Weekend. This dress is what she wore for the actual coronation of King Charles last year, and she looks great in this. The blue floral pattern, she just looks lovely. And it's a dress style. The fit of this dress is classy and modest, but it still shows off her figure because it reins in at the waist, so she looks really nice. There has been, in years past, Lady Louise struggled with slightly frumpy looking outfits. I'm really glad to see that she has found some dresses that look really nice for her. This sort of a style of dress is perfect. It could be a total go-to for her for years to come that she can rely on to look nice and complement her. And Queen Camilla opted for a beautiful mint green coat dress. It was a slightly different color choice for her. She looks really, really beautiful in blues, and I quite like her in pinks. I saw recently one article said that soft pink color washed her out, but I could not disagree more. I think that the soft pink color is perfect for Camilla. I really, really like it. This mint green was a new color for her. I like it. I think it looks fine. The hat is really beautiful, but I do like seeing her in slightly bolder colors. However, perhaps for this event, she wanted something slightly more pastel or softer in color, and this time of year is a great time to go for those softer colors, but I really liked it. It fits her nicely. It looked beautiful. She looked great. Princess Anne was back in her uniform again alongside Prince Edward and Prince William on horseback, looking fabulous, all three of them. Of course, everybody was most thrilled to see Catherine the Princess of Wales back and looking happy, and she really did. She looked like she really enjoyed the event, and it was really symbolic having both her and King Charles standing together, surrounded by their families. It was a beautiful arrangement to choose as far as everybody's placement, and this will be one of those moments in time, the Trooping the Color, where they both were seen together, and she had just returned with full support of the king. That will go down in history as a really significant day. A lot of people in years past have tried to really push this narrative that King Charles is very jealous of the headlines and doesn't want other people having engagements on the same day as him, or doesn't like doing engagements with certain people because they'll always steal the headlines. I just have found him to demonstrate that as categorically false since he has become king, especially. But even before that, there were a lot of hints that this was not how he truly felt. This is just sort of one of those media narratives that is perhaps lingering from previous decades-old drama from when he was with Princess Diana. Perhaps there was some of that sort of dynamic or struggle when it came to attention years ago. But I do not think that has been the case for the last decade or longer. Last year, he made a point to have engagements on the same day as other members of the royal family multiple times to sort of signal that that is not the case. The headlines ran with that despite this being something King Charles advocated for and did on purpose. Today is just further evidence that this is not how King Charles feels. He is not threatened by Catherine the Princess of Wales having her outfit take the big picture on the headlines or the magazines the next day. He's not threatened by her returning on his Trooping the Color birthday parade. He clearly loves his daughter-in-law and was very happy. In fact, the sources say he was delighted that she chose to attend and felt well enough to attend, that she would be there. This was something that made him happy, and he was glad to have her next to him on the balcony. So let's take a look back at some of Catherine's best Trooping the Color looks, because it's always one of the best events of the year. This and Ascot are some of the funnest fashion moments. She often goes for Alexander McQueen for Trooping the Color, though. Almost every year for Trooping, she chose Alexander McQueen. It's one of her favorite design houses, that's no secret. They designed her wedding gown, which was spectacular in every way. If you've never watched our bridal series, I have a playlist for it. I will link it for you guys in the description box or up here if I can. But this white Alexander McQueen coat dress that she wore for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Trooping the Color in 2022 was an absolute classic. It's so gorgeous. Perfect silhouette. It's one of her go-to silhouettes as always, but this one is just so well balanced. It's one of the best she has ever worn. When she was pregnant with Prince George back in 2013, she had the most lovely pink Alexander McQueen coat and Jane Corbett hat. This is one of my favorite looks from her. I just love this soft pink color, and I thought she looked really sweet. She also wore McQueen for her first trooping in 2011 with this beautiful double-breasted coat with a big, dramatic, pleated and tiered skirt. This one's silhouette was one of her most dramatic because it had a lot more volume to it than most styles she tends to gravitate towards, but it balances her figure really nicely, and overall it was a really fun, almost whimsical style. This green ensemble from last year's trooping was equally symbolic and significant, as it was her first trooping with King Charles as king and her as Princess of Wales. Also, her first as Colonel of the Irish Guards. The cut of this coat echoes the silhouettes that Princess Diana often wore, and the color is a nod to the Irish Guards. So overall, it was a striking and bold choice for the event that she typically chooses softer colors for. So it really sent a message and was a clear departure from previous years to sort of mark the beginning of this new role and this new era that she has as Princess of Wales, as Colonel of the Irish Guards, a more significant role for Trooping the Color in particular. So it was a really strategic choice to sort of punctuate her years as Duchess of Cambridge at Trooping the Color with all those softer colors, to now going forward, she is marking that shift and that change in her role and her status. So it was really significant. But what has your favorite Trooping the Color outfit from Catherine the Princess of Wales been over the years? Now, of course, the day was grand despite a bit of drizzle, and I, in particular, do not like mentioning Meghan in real royal videos or videos about Catherine, the Princess of Wales in particular, because it's just really nice to have wholly positive videos, not drag the Meg in where she doesn't belong. So we're not really going to get into this too much today. We'll dive into this deeper at a later video, but it was hilariously desperate and pathetic and ignored. And Meghan Markle tried to piggyback on Trooping the Color. Once again, with jam and dog biscuits this time. Just hours before Trooping the Color kicked off, Harry and Meghan's closest pals teased these two products on Instagram, and literally not a soul cared at all. It was laughable and obvious. It's obvious at this point what she's doing, and it's hilariously desperate. It is pathetic, and it is truly laughable at this point because nobody cared. Something huge, significant, heartwarming, important, courageous was happening with Catherine, Princess of Wales, returning. This was a big deal for the media, for the public to see her again for the first time in a long time. People have been worried about her and concerned, but also she's one of the most loved public figures out there. So for her to make a return was a big deal. It was significant. And it was also the king's birthday parade. So that is also significant in and of itself. So for Meghan to do this is so petty and silly. And the fact that nobody cared or picked up on it was probably frustrating for her, but also just goes to show what the true priorities really are ultimately at the end of the day. Before you say that she had no control over Nacho's posting, I would disagree. When you're sent products from somebody in these sorts of situations with this sort of influencer vibe, there is a card included or notes included as to what day you should post or a window for posting and sorts of guidelines like be sure the label is visible or be sure the jam jar has been opened, things like that. Little tips and tricks to make sure you get the most out of the post. And reports have come in that Meghan did include these sorts of posting guidelines and select dates when she sent out her baskets. The reason why companies do this, or people do this, like Meghan in this example, is so that there is some degree of strategy that the products are featured in a way that's advantageous to the brand, but also typically there is a window or specific dates to choose from to post so that not all of the posts come out at once, because you want a slower drip of teasers or posts to sort of keep the name coming up in social media and coming up on news outlets and things like that. You don't want it all to happen and then be over and done with. So it's clear that she had selected this date as an approved day to post things. So there is no argument that Meghan was not involved in this. She obviously was. Now, to finish on a positive, please leave your favorite Trooping the Color look from Catherine, the Princess of Wales in the comments section below. I cannot wait to see which looks you like the most. Thank you so much for joining me for today's bonus video. We have lots of exciting videos on the schedule, so be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss our upcoming videos. Thank you so much again. I hope you have a very happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye!